Everyone, my name is Shade. If you're new to my channel, you are welcome, and if you are not new, of course you are welcome back indeed. So today is just a sit down video of me sharing my experience with you, and I will show you clips as well. As you could see by the title, I'm gonna be sharing my journey with you. So if you don't know, I live in England and I recently traveled to America. I know tourists still can't visit America, and it's the same for the Americans who are not allowed to go to England just yet, or anywhere in Europe rather. So yeah, it's vice versa really. The government has passed what they call a proclamation, and you are allowed to travel if you are a green card holder. And then there's other exemptions for people who have family members in the state, and it's I would believe it's the same for people who are in America who are trying to visit the United Kingdom or anywhere else in Europe. So I didn't vlog me going through security because obviously it's security, things are a lot stricter. They have to be checking everything thoroughly as they're trying to avoid, you know, bringing more issues into the country, bringing more people in who potentially could have the virus. So I did not vlog that section, but once I got through security, I then did a little video to show you guys what the airport looked like. As you can see, the airport is very empty. There wasn't a lot of people there at all, which was good for me anyway, because obviously with this whole social distancing thing, you know, it worked very well, and obviously I felt more secure that I would have less chance of contracting anything while on my journey. And then it was very quiet, a lot of shops weren't open, duty free was open. I usually only go to duty free anyway when I'm traveling, because obviously, if you guys didn't know, well, I love perfumes and you get them tax free at duty free. So yeah, that was open. The liquor store was open, which is duty free as well, so that was amazing. They didn't have any restaurants open, they just had WH Smith. If you've been to Heathrow Airport before in London, you know that they have a WH Smith, and that was what was open, so you could grab a sandwich or a packet of crisps, a drink, etc. So yeah, that was good for me anyway.
So guys, I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm just getting to vlog. I'm using my phone to do this because my battery has died. But oh my god, I'm just about to head to my gate. Yeah guys, it's so quiet. Upstairs had a lot more people, but on my way to the gate there's hardly anyone. And my gate is quite far away. But yeah, got my mask on. I've got like 2 on just to be extra safe. And yeah, I just can't wait to reach. And hopefully there's not a lot of people on the aircraft as well.
And then once I got on the aircraft, I think there were 30 people in my seating area, and across from me there weren't many people at all. And then in front of me there was one person, and then behind me there was another person, and next to me there weren't anyone sitting. So that was really nice for me. So the reason why I decided to do the video, because I was very curious on what the setup would look like, because obviously they speak about social distancing, so I was wondering how would we social distance on an aircraft. What I've witnessed on the airline is, so, and some people would say as well that they don't give you food, but that's not okay, I won't say it's not true, but I traveled with American Airlines and that was not true. They had dinner, they had snacks, and they had breakfast. Did I say breakfast? No, not breakfast. They had, because it wasn't an overnight flight, so they had dinner and they had snacks 2 times. I think it was twice they came around with snacks, like a sandwich or packet of crisps or something like that, and they always walk around with water. At one point when I was on the airline, I was getting really annoyed because I had decided that I wasn't gonna eat, because of course I was just trying to be extra cautious. Some people probably would say it doesn't make a difference, but I purchased a sandwich before I got on the aircraft. I brought a packet of crisps with me, which I felt was good enough. And sometimes when I'm traveling anyway, I think it's something to do with the air, I get very gassy. So sometimes I didn't really feel that hungry, and I had a bottle of water with me as well. I didn't want to drink too much water because I didn't want to be getting up to go to the toilet very often. I pretty much wanted to just stay in my seat for the duration of the flight because I was trying to avoid as much contact as possible. So I didn't have anything at all on the aircraft. I went to the toilet once, and that was when I got really thirsty, so I had to drink some water. Of course it makes sense, because what if I'm trying to avoid not to contract something, I'll die from dehydration or something like that. So I had to make sure I stayed hydrated. I went to the toilet, but that was the only time I went toilet, and I was fine for the entire journey. They kept coming around with water all the time, and I was getting a little bit annoyed because I'm like, oh my god, like, why do they keep coming around? Water, 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 water. It just didn't make sense to me, because I thought they would be trying to be in contact as little as possible. But when my water finished, mind you, if you're wearing that mask the entire time, I don't know about you, but for me, it makes my throat really, really, really dry. And when my water finished and I needed water, I was like, okay, now it makes sense. This is maybe why they keep offering people water, because honestly, it's not easy wearing that mask, especially for 9 hours. And I had it on longer than 9 hours because I live not in London, so I had to travel to London to the airport. I had it on at the airport in London, and then during my entire journey from London to Atlanta. So I had a connection flight. I was trying to get a straight flight, but they didn't have any, so I had to connect in Miami, which was obviously I got on a different airline to get to Atlanta. So that now was a different experience. It was only 2 hours, so it wasn't really that big of a deal. That was my first stop, you know, in the States. So the procedure was literally a form that we had to fill out to say whether we have been in contact with anyone with the virus recently, if we've had any symptoms of the virus, like shortness of breath, any coughing, or a temperature, and obviously like other information like if you've been in Europe for the, it's a very, I mean, I suppose they print, it's like a generic form, because obviously we're coming from the United Kingdom, but the form will ask you if you've been anywhere in Europe or the United Kingdom or the Republic of Ireland. Duh. But I think it's just a generic form. And then I filled it out, and once I landed, they had some security. I don't know who they were, if they were immigration officers. I would imagine they were, I'm not sure. But anyways, there were a few people, once we got off the aircraft, there were a few people outside who took the forms from. And one lady asked me if I've been around anyone with the virus recently, if I've had any symptoms, and my answer was no. So I carried on, went through checkout, and the immigration officer asked me if I left my form with that person. I said yes, and that person also asked me if I've had any symptoms. The answer again was no, so I was out. That experience for me was a little bit different than what I expected, because I thought they would at least do some sort of screening. It did seem too unrealistic for them to actually swab people for the virus, but I thought they would at least check temperatures, but none of that happened. But luckily it was pretty much an empty flight, so I wasn't really in contact with anyone. To be honest, I was pretty much by myself, and people were very good at social distancing as well. So from Miami to Atlanta, my experience there as well was a little bit different. That flight was loaded. It was full. I was sat next to 2 other people. Yeah, it was pretty much full. So it was a thing where I had to just pray that everything would be fine. I wasn't really scared anyway. Well, when I got to Atlanta, no screening, no nothing, especially when it's classed now as a domestic flight. So I literally just got off the flight in Atlanta. I didn't have to go through immigration again. I just went and got my bags, and then I left. So yeah, basically that was my flying to the US during the pandemic. I was told that I'd have to stay in quarantine for obviously 14 days. But yeah, my experience was not bad, and I wasn't scared, because I know a lot of people are scared to travel. I don't know, hopefully things will go back to normal so people can get on with their normal lives. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was useful to you, rather, if you're looking to travel, or if you've been thinking to travel and you were a little bit unsure, or you know, I hope I gave you some sort of security. I'm not saying it, I'm not telling anyone like, yeah, go travel. It's obviously up to you. I mean, I've been on social media and I've seen a lot of people say, some people say they're not going to travel now until, or they're not traveling until 2021. Some people exaggerate, say 2022, and I think that's completely up to you. But yeah guys, I won't keep you any longer. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you made it this far in the video anyway, so you will see me showing my appreciation for actually tuning in. Anyways, until next time, bye.